Peace, 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 peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, the humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is, man. Rocking with the best, you heard? So let's get right into it, man. Okay, so got a question from a young lady that said, I am a new notary and I don't know where to get started. I am a new notary and I don't know where to get started. Now I have the way I got started. But I'm going to invite comments and questions or people that have been in this notary game for a while to go ahead and chime in. You could go ahead and put it in the comment section because everybody's entry into this business is different. Many people that have entered this business, they've entered it differently. Like for myself, I know that I've entered this notary industry as an agency before I even started stamping anything. I ran a notary agency way before I had a chance to stamp one piece of paper. And that was because it was close. It was about 2019. And documents were backed up at the Secretary of State. Like something that should have probably taken a month took about 3 to 4 months. So it took me a while to get my notary stamp, and it took me a while to get my journal and everything. But I put in the whole process in. So while I'm waiting, I believe in cash flow. I believe in money in. I started to concentrate on getting money immediately inside of the business. I concentrated getting money immediately into the business. Meaning before I had business cards, brochures, fancy websites, and all of this other stuff, I was trying to get phone calls because I know if I could get the client on the phone, I have a higher chance of closing the deal. I wasn't worried about that I didn't have my stamp yet. I said I'd figure it out. Worst come to worst, I could tell people, sorry, the notary isn't available. And then I'll make a recommendation for them to go somewhere else. But I wanted to see if this thing worked. I wanted to see if the marketing tactics that I was learning from the Notary Business School, shout out to my brother Andre Hatchett, really worked. And it worked. So the first thing I did after I did the whole, getting the E&O insurance and, putting the documents in with the Secretary of State, putting my fees in and all of that stuff, I rolled out Google My Business. That was the very first thing I did. Even while I'm waiting to get, commission. And truth be told, I didn't know if they would approve my commission or not. I didn't know if that misdemeanor that was on my record was going to hinder me from becoming a notary. But I push forward anyway. See, as an entrepreneur, what you have to do is one, you have to be able to solve problems on the fly. You have to be able to solve problems in real time. So you have to think very quickly. So I say I bought Andre's course in October 2018. I didn't start rolling everything out until January. So now on around January, about 2 weeks after I put in my Google My Business listing, got it verified, I started receiving phone calls. Today it's a little bit different. Google is making it pretty difficult for people to get their business listing nowadays. Now they want you to do video conferences, and they want to see documents and ID and stuff like that. But when I did it in 2019, it was a cakewalk. It was extremely easy to do. Today it's a different story, but you can still do it. I mean, like, they're not charging for it. But I know some people that are running into a lot of hiccups, and I do know other people that have been banned just like I have. So rolling that out is really important. I started rolling it out so I started getting phone calls. Once I started getting phone calls, then I scrambled and figured out what I was going to do. Now, if it was just one or two calls, I probably wouldn't have stressed about it much. I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm getting a couple of phone calls. But the fact is, I was getting like 5 to 7 phone calls per day. So if it was just 1 to 2 phone calls, I would have been like, you know, unfortunately, the notary's not available. uh, Call back later, or, see if this company will do it for you. But because I was getting a high volume of calls, which is 5 to 7, which is pretty good for a small business, to get that many inquiries per day, I said, okay, now I have to find a notary. I have to find a notary that's willing to do these assignments for me. Luckily for me, in the office that the engineering firm was in, right next door was a realtor broker who was also a notary. So I went over to her, didn't know her from a can of paint, and I introduced myself. And I said, hey, look, I just launched a notary business. We're getting a bunch of clients. Would you be interested in doing some of these notarizations? Of course, she said yes, right? Now, I wasn't very familiar on the pricing structure of it. So I asked her, did she have a price list? She sent me over her price list, and I was blown away by the prices. If you guys seen her price list, shout out to Faye Washington. If you guys saw her price list, you would look at your prices and say, I am grossly underpriced. You would be upset with your pricing if you saw her pricing. So after I saw her pricing, I said to myself, well, if I'm going to make a profit, I'm going to have to not only sell it at a price where she gets paid, but also I get paid. So I would like literally have to put some juice on it, right? I'd have to put a cushion on it. So let's just say for a power of attorney, she was charging $175. I would say, all right, well, I would have to sell this thing for $225, $250. And this is where the price war started, right? Because in the notary industry, and this is one of the main reasons why I do not follow a lot of notaries, um, because there's a lot of mixed messages that go out there, and there's a lot of bad information that can actually play a role in your decision making. It can skew your decision making. I remember watching an interview with Kanye West, and they were asking Kanye West what was his process when he's creating an album. And he said, I don't listen to other rap music. And they asked him, why don't you listen to other rap music? He said, because it would influence the way I write my music. And I actually follow that philosophy. I don't listen to other notaries, not because I'm arrogant or egotistical about it, but because I don't want it to influence the way I make my decisions in my own notary business. So I took her price sheet and I said, you know what? She charges $175, $250 for loan closings. Uh, Whatever her price is, I have to at least make $50 or more on each transaction. So from that point, I started attacking the business like that. Now, I did not know if I would get those prices or not. That was the conflicting part. I was thinking that she maxed out. Whatever the document was, she maxed it out. She didn't leave any meat on the bone. She didn't leave any cushion for me to eat on that deal as well. So I said, you know what? I'm not even going to argue with her because I do need a notary right now. And I started deploying my own pricing methods. And lo and behold, I was able to get higher margins way past her asking price, which now at the end of the day, she taught me a lot. Although I don't use her anymore because her pricing is very high, she taught me a valuable lesson. And that valuable lesson was you can get those prices. See, I used to think that I was going to do notarizations for like $30, $50. That's what I thought, like for what, how much money could you really get for a stamp? How much money could you really get for a stamp? But that's when my sales abilities kicked in. And I started noticing different pockets of where I can apply different pressure to increase profit margins, i.e., third-party witness. I.e., expedited service. There are so many ways that you can inject profit pockets. What up, Malik? Big Malik in the building. In this industry, that it doesn't even make sense. Like I really could make even more money per transaction if I wanted to. I'll give you an example. Let's say a client wanted one of my notaries to meet them somewhere. And for whatever reason, they changed the address at the last minute. Instead of saying, oh, no problem, uh, just tell me what the new address is and I'll make sure that my notary get it, and then just push the deal through, right? Instead of doing it like that, I can make, or not even make the situation sound like I have to wrestle a bear to get it done. Oh, wow, you need the address changed at the last minute? Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me see where my notary is, because this might throw things off because he does have other note appointments right afterwards, right? I can make the situation sound like I'm twisting arms and pulling teeth, and then command an additional fee on top of that. So, as far as if you're starting off in this notary business, you got your notary commission and you're ready to go, but you don't know where to start, my number one recommendation is get it validated, get some money in, get it to cash flow as quickly as possible. See, once money starts coming into your direction, you'll be surprised how creative you can get. When you see money slipping through your fingers because you haven't thought of a solution, one, you should be getting angry if that's happening. You should be pissed off if people are calling you and you're turning down business. You should be upset. You should be sick to your stomach. But when money starts, people are starting to call you and they're trying to give you money, and you have to think of a solution on how to take in the money and then figure out how you're going to solve the problem afterwards. Yeah, you're ready now. That's all the validation you need. That's all you need in the beginning when you're getting started. Everything else is technicalities. Getting a business card, big deal. Getting brochures, no big deal. None of this stuff is a big deal. Getting incorporated, all of that stuff. Listen, I see people run out of their way to get their business incorporated just to figure out that they don't want to do the business anymore, and they're out of $1,000. They went out and bought printers, ink, paper, journals, messenger bags, all of this stuff, just to realize 6 months down the line they don't want to do the business anymore. And they did not make 1 red cent. They didn't make any money. Don't let that be you. Do not let that be you. Start making money in the business first, and then use the funds that the customers have been paying you with to purchase all of the extra shit. My notary business was 100% customer funded. 100%. My first book that I wrote, Rise of the Smart Notary, was 100% customer funded. How did I do that? I pre-sold the book. Before I wrote one word, I was already pre-selling the book. So I had money coming in. See, there's this notion in the notary industry that you cannot get paid until after you do the notarization. And in loan signings, it's even worse. You get paid a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks after you did the notarization. That's crazy. And there are notaries out there that'll tell you that that's the normal. That's the norm. If you want average results, keep following what the normal people are doing. Keep following what everybody else is doing, and you're going to get exactly the results that they're getting. Whenever you hear people say that's the normal, that's the industry norm, you should be running the opposite way. Because they're lining you up. These are people that will dislike that you're getting paid up front when there's, for the last 3 to 4 years, they were getting paid on the back end. They were getting paid 4 weeks after the notarization was done. Is that what you want? You want to get paid? Would you rather get paid before you do the notarization? Or would you rather get paid 4 weeks after you did the notarization? This is a real question. This is for real. Because there are 4.4 million notaries out there. I have dispatched notaries in at least 20-something states. And one thing that I have learned in this notary industry is, one, notaries do not know how to price themselves whatsoever. I made a crucial mistake in the beginning. Well, I won't say it's a mistake. It was a learning experience. When I was commissioning notaries in Indiana, California, New Jersey, New York, you name it, it didn't matter. I used to always tell the notary, hi, I have a power of attorney in your neck of the woods. We're paying $125. Can you do the notarization for us? 10 out of 10 times, they always said yes. 10 out of 10 times, they always said yes. Now, for the average person, this is a good thing. That means there's no kickback, there's no confrontation, there's no negotiating. For a normal person, that is a really good situation. So if I'm making if I'm charging the client $150 and I offer a notary to run that assignment for me for $125, I make $25. Somebody may look at that and be like, hey, I made $25 for just taking a phone call. For them, that might be a great thing. For me, that is horrible. Because I have way too much sales and negotiating experience to understand that there's something wrong with that equation. So because 10 out of 10 people are agreeing to my price, my intellectual red flag told me, you're paying them too much. You follow me? Helping Hand Notaries, listen to this video. I'm gonna help somebody out. I'm gonna free somebody today. So I understood that I was overpaying, not even paying going rate. I was overpaying notaries for their services because 10 out of 10 notaries would agree to the price that I gave them. So I had to restructure my question. So then my question went like this. Hi, this is Mark from U.S. Notary Agency. We have a power of attorney in your neck of the woods for Thursday at 3 o'clock. Are you available to do it? Thursday at 3 o'clock? Yeah, I should be available. Great. How much do you charge for a power of attorney? Same phone call, but I rephrased the one question that saved me thousands of dollars. Thousands. Okay. So now The 10 out of 10 yeses that I was getting, I put the ball in their court. I let them give me a price. And you know what I came to discover? That they were grossly underpriced or grossly way under than what I was going to pay them. So if I said that I was going to pay them $125 to do a power of attorney, in my mind, I say, look, my budget is $125 to pay for this thing. The notaries would come back and tell me, yeah, I'll do it for $45. I'll do it for $30. I'll do it for $50. Brrr. My profit margins increase overnight. Overnight, my profits increased. This is real talk, y'all. See, even with a door, it could be pretty hard to lift the door and move it. But put two little hinges on it, and you can swing that big ass door open and close. And that's what that one question did for me. It became a hinge on a heavy door. And it opened another floodgate of profits for me. So again, the question was asked by a young lady that said, I'm a new notary and I don't know where to get started. My advice to you is get your business validated. Start making money. Give yourself 48 hours to start making money. Figure out how you're going to make money in the business, because that's all this business is about. That's all this business is about. That's all any business is about, making money. You start thinking about personal brands and building a culture later. So I hope this helps out, ladies and gentlemen. Join the free Notary SEAL Team Report newsletter. It's in the link in the description. Also, we have the Power of Attorney Masterclass. It is the undisputed masterclass of its kind. I've trained over 1,900 notaries on this masterclass. It's the only masterclass that you will ever need, or your money back. I guarantee it. You will leave that masterclass armed, equipped, and ready for war. That is on June 24th through the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Check the link in the description so you can RSVP. We're only opening it for 15 people. We will only let 15 people in on this masterclass. I like to keep the class small. That way I can answer questions. I can help navigate you into the direction that you need, because we'll get some beginners, we'll get some novice people, we'll get some experienced people, we'll get some experts. People are coming in from all different stages. So if you would like to take the Power of Attorney Masterclass, hit the link or scan the QR code in front of you, and I will see you guys later. Peace, love, and happiness. You heard?